Hey guys, how's it going? It's Al. I'm back. We have a DraftKings NFL first look at all the running backs. I'm going to go down every single running back on the list. We're going to take a look at guys at different price points, different tiers. I'm not going to talk about every single running back though. Okay. I'm not going to go into like the third stringers. So let's be serious. I'm going to talk about the guys that I believe are playable. And we have a little bit of a bonus. Daily Roto has opened up their NFL optimizer with a way too early first look at their projection set. Is it their finalized projections that are going to be behind the paywall once NFL season starts? No, but if you want to jump over to Daily Roto, you can, and check out their NFL optimizer, make some lineups, play around with their projections, see what the whole system is about. There's a link down below in the description. Just expand that. Please drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you would be so kind, if you like all the videos that I'm putting out this preseason, if you watched last season's videos and you want to help out, if you want to say thank you, right there in the pinned tweet down below is a link to my Instagram page. 2 clicks is all I ask for. Click on that Instagram link and then give me a follow over there. I would greatly appreciate it as you guys help me get above 2,000 followers on Instagram. It's tough to build a channel over there. I'm doing what I can to try and build that platform as well as all the other ones that we have. All the links to every other social is down as well in the description. Just hit show more. But let's get to this running backs breakdown. Would help if I clicked running backs, right? Right on top, Ezekiel Elliott and his holdout. If he's there, he's fine, right? I'm of the belief that you don't, if you're a running back, you know what you're doing, right? He's been in the same system for his entire career. He's been in Dallas. They haven't made very many changes. He knows what he's got to do. He understands the verbiage of the playbook. He doesn't need to be there in preseason. If anything, him not being out in the sun for 2-a-days is fine. Do I think that they might have to ease him in if he's not 100% in football shape from running in practice and doing all the conditioning that he needs to do? Obviously, you can do it on your own, but there's a difference between being in really, 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 really good shape, which I'm sure Ezekiel Elliott is in, and being in football shape to carry the ball and catch the ball as much as he did last year. One of the highest volume running backs. I'm sorry, the highest volume running back in the league last year. I'd be a little shocked if we saw this kind of, 30 touches, 25 touches week 1. I still think he would get above 19 to 25. I still think he's in that range. And with the Giants defense being what it is, and Ezekiel Elliott as involved as he is in the passing game, we saw his target number jump from like 40 2 seasons ago to, what was it last year? 105. It's absurd. Guy's one of the best backs in the league. If he's there when week 1 comes and we don't have that knowledge yet, then go ahead and plug Ezekiel Elliott in. Now, the reason I say that these jam 'em in running backs, SAQUON Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, Ezekiel Elliott, are all in play is because of how friendly salaries are in week 1. And they're always very friendly in week 1, right? Players are discounted 10 to 20%. They want people making lineups as many as possible, as much as possible, having fun. You don't want to make people upset, right? You don't want to make people, when they're finished building a lineup, have to go sit in the corner in the fetal position because it pained them so much to finish that lineup, and they have 3 spots of players that they just can't possibly stand that they had to click into their lineup. So the salaries are that cheap that you can afford 1, 2 really high priced guys. You can just go after them and go get them. SAQUON Barkley is another one. Same game. You want all that usage in passing game, 121 targets on the season last year. Look at the touches that he was getting every single week. 15 to 20 carries a week, plus 8, 7, 10, 8, 5, 10, 10, 12. All that usage in the passing game. DraftKings full PPR. The kid's a gold mine. Do I think that he's going to have the same volume of breakaway runs that he had last year, which was like off the charts amazing? He's going to regress in terms of that, but maybe he's just that type of dude. And if he gets to the second level, they just can't handle him. He's going to bust through any sort of tackle from a cornerback or a safety, and he's going to run away from just about everybody else based on how fast he is. Do I think he'll have that same percentage of breakaway runs? No, but do I think that he's still going to have some this year? Yes. Is it a bad offense? Yes. Should he see a ton of volume? Also, yes. And volume is king at running back. Another high volume running back, Christian McCaffrey. I heard a stat on 06010 yesterday from Field Yates that was like, if you took away all of his running stats from last year, Christian McCaffrey's 219 carries, and rushing yards from last year. I forget if it was Mike or if it was Field. So I want to give credit where it's due. I forget which one of them actually said this. Christian McCaffrey would have been like the wide receiver 16 last year. Just with his receiving numbers. Not counting what he did on the ground. So you're getting a wide receiver 2 and an RB1. Don't see a problem. Yes, the Rams are a really good defense. Aaron Donald is absolutely dominant. But you know what you're getting with these guys up top. Todd Gurley, problems with his knee. We know they're going to monitor him. They're going to manage his usage. Do I think we're going to see the 25 touch games out of Todd Gurley anymore? No. Do I think he's going to get the touches inside the 5 and inside the 10? Yes. And those are the most important touches on the field if you're rostering a running back. That's what you want to attack. That's what you want from your running back. Is he going to get all the high volume plays outside? Probably not. Is he going to get the amount of targets that he was getting earlier in the season, 6 targets a game? Maybe not. Maybe he's a 4 target a game guy now. Maybe he's an 18 carry a game guy now. But the high volume carries for him are going to come inside the goal line when they go with their goal line packages, and he's most certainly going to be in there in those situations. I don't think you're going to see Malcolm Brown there. I don't think that you're going to see the rookie Henderson there. I think we're going to see Todd Gurley in the situations that make the most difference for fantasy, aside from volume, is touchdown scoring, and the Rams offense is going to be very good once again, and Todd Gurley, when they get inside the 10, is going to be their high volume guy inside the 10 at 7,900. Not really a guy I'm targeting for week 1 outside of GPPs. I think you can go with him if you believe that he's going to get that sort of work, and we'll see the usage that he gets with the first team throughout preseason, the next 2 weeks of preseason, because week 4, everybody sits everybody. We'll see if he gets any usage with Goff on the field, which is how you want to track the usage, or at least follow somebody who does track that sort of usage and see if he's used in goal line, in short yardage, everything else along those lines if he plays those games. David Johnson against Detroit. You know he's going to get much better usage than he got last year. He got good volume last year. He didn't get the type of volume that we want. They weren't being very creative in the ways that they were getting him the ball. He also didn't have a quarterback that was very mobile, that could hold linebackers and safeties. I think we're going to see a big difference, a big change in David Johnson in the way that he's rolled out with this Kingsbury offense. And I like what I see so far, at least from what we saw the first game. I think Kyler Murray is an absolute stud. And his ability and the fact that you're going to have linebackers depend on that quarterback and spy that quarterback, it's going to open up more route running space for David Johnson. And Kingsbury is somebody who's going to be very creative in the ways that he can get the ball out. They're going to get it out quick. They're going to utilize the running backs. They're going to get David Johnson in space and allow him to do the things that he can do. I think we'll see something closer to David Johnson from 2 years ago and less like we saw last year. He might split out into the slot sometimes. They're going to move him around. You're going to see him on wheel routes, circle routes, square routes, everything else that you see from normal running backs. And in my opinion, possibly more. 6 targets a game, not out of the realm for David Johnson. Hopefully certain games we see more. Against Detroit, tough defense. This is a situation we're going to have to ponder going all the way up to week 1. I know that he's going to pop as a value because of his career, his 3 years, which is what a lot of projection systems lean on. Leaning on the pace up situation that the Cardinals are going to want to play, and the fact that he is the primary goal line back for this team are very palatable for me at 7,700. That's all the high tier guys. Coming back a tier, Melvin Gordon, I'm not sure that he's going to be around week 1. Le'Veon Bell, I think Le'Veon's going to have a good season. Again, volume is king. I think he's going to see it. My problem is week 1 going up against Buffalo. He's should be a very contrarian play at 7,100 to me, because I think that there are a lot of values below him that are maybe a little bit better, right? That are maybe in better offensive situations against defenses that don't project as top 3 or 4 defenses in the league and our division opponents. I'm going to struggle to have a good high percentage of Le'Veon Bell in week 1 because of everything else that's out there. Joe Mixon against Seattle, probably not interested playing on the road, an offense that I'm not thrilled with. Seattle, a team that's going to run the ball and hog it, and their defense should not be horrible. Nick Chubb, though, at home and favored. Running backs that are at home and favored and more than a touchdown favorite, I don't think that they're more than a touchdown favorite. I think they're like 4-point favorites for week 1. I'll have to double check that, but I don't have time to do it right now. Nick Chubb going to be very popular. Like I said, guys in that 6,500 to like 5K range, there are a ton of running backs in this range. Nick Chubb leading the way at 6,400. Damian Williams at 6,300. Fournette, 6,100. Dalvin Cook at 6,000. Henry, a lot of people on that Derrick Henry train, but I get it more for season long than probably in week one. KERRYON Johnson playing in a pace up situation against Arizona and their really horrible defense. Carson against Cincinnati's horrible defense with the amount of bump that he should get in the passing game this year, and playing at home and favored. Marlon Mack if Andrew Luck is available. Austin Eckler if Melvin Gordon is out. Freeman against Minnesota, probably a little bit less interested in. Ingram against Miami. Coleman against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Every one of these running backs is in play. You know what we can do? Let's pop on over to Daily Roto and check out what they have for their way too early projections. And as I said, these projections are going to change by the time the season gets here, by the time week one gets here. Bets, thank you for the 100 bits, man. By the time the season gets here, these are going to change. You'll have more customizable features. You'll see how many yards and targets and carries they project for each player. But as of now, they've thrown something for us to kind of look at. Saquon Barkley, their highest raw projected total guy. Christian McCaffrey, Elliott, David Johnson, Bell, then Nick Chubb, who I spoke about in that range. They have Joe Mixon there, but the way that you want to sort on Daily Roto is to click the value column, right? This gives you the points per dollar, points per salary, how much of a value those sorts of guys are. He is their top value on the board, is Nick Chubb right now on Daily Roto for their way too early projections. Just like I said, high team total, high expected output, high volume offense that should be making repeated trips inside the 10 and inside the 5-yard line. He is the primary goal line back for this team. Should see more usage in the passing game than he saw last year. Playing at home, favored. Everything kind of lines up for Nick Chubb, Bell, Barkley, KERRYON Johnson, and Dalvin Cook, two of the guys in that range. And getting back to them, these are the two that I think are going to be two of the more chalky players. Dalvin Cook last year had an ACL or was coming off of an ACL injury. That first year back from an ACL, players don't usually see the volume. They don't usually have their breakout year. That second year back from the ACL injury, they've built up that strength. They've built up that confidence. The mental part about coming back from an injury, as important or more important for a player than just the physical part. You have to learn how to trust your body, your surgically repaired body from that point moving forward. And Dalvin Cook, in my opinion, should see an uptick in his carries per game, an uptick in his usage per game in the passing game, in terms of targets, and as well as his snaps. The other player that I said in this range, KERRYON Johnson. The Lions are favored, though on the road against Arizona, who projects to play fast. The Lions want to play slow, but they should see more offensive snaps in this game than they would against a team like Seattle, who also wants to play slow. So you want to look for players in pace-up situations. KERRYON Johnson, after the trade of, or after the release of DERRICK, now you've got a situation where KERRYON Johnson at 5,800 looks extremely underpriced because his volume in the passing game should be static at 4 to 7 targets a game, as well as the 15 plus carries a game. Could he get sniped at the goal line by CJ Anderson? Most definitely. That could happen. Prepare yourself mentally, lay down on the couch with your psych and sit there and work your way through it before you get to week one and we have to take your shoelaces away, put you on suicide watch. Know that that's a part of it when you draft KERRYON Johnson, but also know that you're getting the Lions in a pace-up situation where they should score some points, a team total of 24.5 against Arizona, albeit on the road. Game flow independent running back at 5,800, and him and Dalvin Cook should be really highly owned. Taking a look at my running back sheet from 2018, this is sorted by team touch rank, right? What percentage of the running back touches these running backs got last year in weeks that they were healthy. Ezekiel Elliott, Todd Gurley, I think he falls this year. James Conner, McCaffrey, Damian Williams, Joe Mixon, Saquon Barkley. Nick Chubb in the games that he was the starter and healthy was right here. He saw a ton of this team's looks. Let me just highlight them so we can go across the board. 58% of the snaps at running back. I think that increases. 89% of the Browns carries in that span when he was healthy. Only 37% of the team's targets at running back with Duke Johnson gone. I think that increases, albeit he's not going to be a receiver like the other big time backs, but I think you're going to see a bump in the amount of targets that he gets and the amount of catches that he gets, which will help you on DraftKings. And 78.4% of the entire running back touches on that team. Dalvin Cook, weeks that he was healthy, same situation, top 12. And the one that's going to take the big jump would be down here. KERRYON Johnson, 27th last year, 51% of the snaps at running back, 56% of their carries, 39% of their targets. This is what's really going to jump. I think we're going to see a lot more catches out of KERRYON Johnson in 2019 versus 2018. And I think we start seeing it in week 1. Getting to some of the value guys. Chris Carson, like I said, he's fine. Marlon Mack, if luck is there, I think he's awesome. Eckler, if Gordon's out, should see a high volume of work, 20 touches, if not a couple of more, with some good bulk of those coming in the passing game. Love how much Baltimore is going to run the ball this year. Probably 12 carries a game out of their quarterback. He should get 20 touches a game. They're also going to use a third back, whether it's the rookie Hill, whether it's somebody else, whether it's Gus Bus. But Ingram's going to give you a lot of work, and Coleman is separating himself as the number 1 back for San Francisco against Tampa Bay, who we know is already a bad defense. Now, value guys under that. LaShawn McCoy thinks he's the number 1 guy at New Jersey. At the New York Jets, I'm not really all that thrilled to play him. Pollard, if Ezekiel Elliott's holdout lasts into the regular season, Tony Pollard should be one of, if not the highest owned running back in week 1 at 4,500. Carlos Hyde, he's falling off the earth because of the fact that Damian Williams is back at practice and running as the 1. He might see some goal line work and steal a touchdown here or there from Damian Williams, but not really somebody I'm interested in. Neither is Gio Bernard. Ito Smith, no thank you. Jackson could see a bit of a bump, especially if Melvin Gordon sits week 1, but I wouldn't look for more than 12 touches out of him. Matt Breida, you know the same sort of situation here. He's going to be the secondary back. If Coleman is to the 49ers what Freeman was to the Falcons, Breida will be to the 49ers what Coleman used to be for the Falcons, which is usage in the passing game, maybe 12 touches a game. Not going to be a super high volume guy, but you could take a shot at him in a GPP because of the fact that this is one of the more high scoring games of the day. There is touchdown upside for a backup running back in a truncated role, albeit no more than a deep sleeper GPP low owned play. The one player down here that I think has the best chance to make a massive difference in terms of being highly owned, make a massive difference in terms of the slate, would be Miles Sanders if he can take the job in Philadelphia. And I can already see the comments down below before you even type them. Philadelphia uses a running back by committee approach. They're not going to give the ball to anybody that many times.
But Al, he hasn't separated himself yet.
Miles Sanders is easily the most talented back for the Philadelphia Eagles on that roster right now. For a team that looks like they're going to score a ton of points this year, if he gets 17 plus touches, if he projects at 17 touches in week 1, he's 3,900. He's 3,900 in week 1. You don't need that much to pay off 3,900 at running back for the Eagles at 3,900. You don't need that much. Chat wants me to say it louder for the people in the back. All I'm saying is, if Miles Sanders is running with the ones in week 2 of preseason and week 3 of preseason, and we can project that he is going to be the lead back in their running back by committee approach and approach 17 touches a game, maybe 13 carries, maybe 4 catches. That is way more than enough for me to want to invest at 3,900 if he can make the case for himself to be the starter on that team. That's what I got for you right now, guys. I appreciate you tuning in one more time for another one of these preseason videos. I've been doing uploads Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I might add a bonus upload tomorrow. So if you would please drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, go down into that pinned comment down below, click the Instagram link, give me a follow over there. I would greatly appreciate it. There's a couple of more videos for you guys to check out. If you haven't checked them out already, I've already posted a few this preseason and will continue to all the way up until week 1 when we really get down and dirty and into the week 1 grind and the regular cadence for NFL. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I'll see you next time. Bye.